Ooh, here we go. We're going to get right into it today. We're going to go 3, 2, 1. Hey, everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome back. It's a skeleton crew today. And you know what they say about skeleton crews?
What
they
they
say?
say?
Oh, I thought you guys knew.
I
You
don't
got to
know.
keep sailing the ship.
Ghost
That's what they
crew
say.
or
Okay.
another kind of crew, yes, but a skeleton.
Yeah. You got to keep sailing, and that's what we're doing today. It's only the four of us. JC's out. Michael's out. Zach is off gallivanting in, I don't know, New England somewhere. It's not really New England. He's in England.
Overseas.
Yeah,
Amsterdam.
well, yeah, Amsterdam. There you go. He's in Gordon's neck of the woods this week.
Yeah, I saw him yesterday.
Oh, yeah. Did you guys have a good time? Where did you work?
We just went to a cafe, which is different to a coffee shop in Amsterdam.
In which ways?
Cafe is for coffee. Coffee
And-
shop is for smoking. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, well, you know what? I'm learning new things about Amsterdam every single day. You know what else I want to learn about?
What?
Oh boy, it would have been way better if I had this queued up, but I really want to know. I really want to know what happened last week. Well, it's a good thing I got the show notes because I'm going to tell you. So, Zach, who we've already covered, is out gallivanting in New England, did a creative session. So, his creative session, he left me these notes, so I will read them to you verbatim. He built a small web app using the Google Maps API to add advanced map markers with interactivity. He also used the autocomplete API to search for destinations that dynamically add these Rive markers on a map. Code and live stream playback here with a little note to copy and paste this into the comments. So there you go. If you want to check out that live stream from last Wednesday, you can check it out there, but do it after this. All right, now,
Nice.
This week, we get a Spanish live stream tomorrow. That's going to be Pedro, Laura, and JC. JC will be back for that. And that will be 1 hour earlier than this, so 10 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. Eastern, and 8 a.m. Pacific. And then Gordon is having a creative session tomorrow. Gordon, what are we going to be doing for that? What are you going to be doing for that?
That's an excellent question. Yeah, the plan was for me to work on it today and get it ready, but yeah, some other things popped up. So at this stage, it can either be out of band assets. We've talked about that in the past. So out of band assets would allow you to load in assets that are embedded in your Rive file. So instead of embedding them, you can load them from anywhere. So this means you can make your Rive file smaller, or it means you can dynamically switch out an image for another image. So yeah, either that, which it will launch hopefully soon. And the other alternative is to look at Bevy. So Bevy is a game framework that we are releasing a runtime for also soon. So yeah, both of these will kind of be a sneak peek. If there's preferences in the chat at this stage, I can be very easily swayed to go one way or the other. So keen to hear if there's any preferences from anyone in the comments.
You can also bug Gordon on Twitter or X, whatever. Either one.
Or Discord.
Or Discord. Yeah. Bug him. Send him messages. Let him know. All right. So that's everything that's coming up this week. That will be at normal time, Gordon, 11 a.m. Central.
Yeah.
Okay. So normal time. Come hang out with Gordon and let him know what you want to do. All right. Let's talk about some... Oh, let's not talk about those yet. Let's talk about this. Oh, boom. Nope, double share. Okay, we're still in October, which means we're still doing the Rive It's Alive animation challenge. We just wrapped up the 4th week, and we are starting on the final week of the challenge. Now, the prompt this week is trail, and the animation challenge is to animate with joysticks. So the whole thing doesn't have to be animated with joysticks. You just have to use joysticks in your file. We've got a lot of examples on how to use joysticks. And if you haven't used joysticks, this is a good opportunity to experiment with those and get a little bit of practice in. We'll also be announcing the winner of last week's challenge here at the end. All right, now let's talk about some new releases. So, if you didn't know, we released the Rive 101 State Machine section. We also put that section into its own playlist so that you can find all 22 videos and, you know, learn a little bit about the State Machine. Now, it is still missing the blend state videos, which we will be making and adding to that playlist soon. So keep an eye out for those as well. Now, if you're following us on Discord, then you just saw in the announcements channel that we had a number of quality of life improvements land throughout the week, a little bit at the end of last week, and then some yesterday. So last week, we added the ability to mark yourself as for hire. So now it'll be a little bit easier for folks who are looking to get some Rive work to make themselves noticeable within the Rive community. Now, we're also going to be pushing more updates in the coming weeks to help you make yourself even more discoverable. So hang out and watch for updates to that. Some other things that were added is now when you're drawing shapes, text, artboards, or joysticks, you can hold the space bar down and actually move those objects as you're creating them. That's a really nice quality of life feature. You can now right-click to duplicate a state machine listener. That's going to help out a lot when we start doing nested artboard updates and things like that. You can hide, hiding target layers or bones no longer disables the connected constraint. So if you have like an IK constraint and you hide a bone, it's not going to disable it. Enabled type ahead and scrolling on joystick timeline fields in the inspector, fixed system cursor flickering when rotating an object, and additional bug fixes. If you want to be the first to know about all these updates, make sure you join the Discord where we post about that stuff right when they're added. And if you want to read the complete notes, you can always go to rive.app/changelog. Whew. All right, let's look at the horizon. First up, nested input updates, nested artboard updates. They're coming soon. We're sort of the final testing phase. We're getting all the materials ready for releasing. So those should be landing fairly soon. And that's all I'll say about that until they actually come out. And then we'll have a lot more to say about those. And also, Gordon already hinted at this, but there was a little bit of a bevy thing going on. Gordon, you showed a little bevy stuff last week, little in the little tweeter sphere.
Yeah, I should post the link so you guys can see. I'll do that after the explanation. Yeah, so that's an option for tomorrow's creative stream. Bevy is a game framework. It uses Rust, so we'll be launching the Rust runtime and Bevy framework runtime, I guess. So yeah, that means you'll be able to run Rive in your Bevy games. The example that I shared is a UI HUD that Jerry made, but instead of the normal 2D HUD that you would have in our traditional runtimes, with a game runtime, you have 3D space that you can work in. So this example shows how to draw Rive on a texture. So meaning that texture lives in 3D space. And that texture can be wrapped around a mesh. So that mesh can be anything from a 3D game. And also you can apply some cool effects on a texture. So yeah, Bevy's still fairly young. I think we'll probably be able to do a lot more exciting stuff with a Unity runtime. But you can do some pretty cool stuff with Bevy already. In this example that's on screen, there's some bloom applied. So that is what's giving that glow effect, and it's kind of casting the light as the camera moves. Yeah, the Bevy runtime is really fun to play with. And yeah, Bevy is also, yeah, it's fun to use.
Yeah, Jeff's pointing out that it's actually like casting shadows and things like that. I think that's super cool.
Yeah, so that's something you get out of the box. If the texture is transparent, which the Rive animation in this instance has a transparent background, then yeah, these elements will cast a shadow. So wherever there's any color and some transparency, it will cast a shadow.
Yeah, this is really neat. So this is like in the pipeline. This is soon. This is like imminent, right?
Yeah, it's basically good to go.
Well, sweet. I'm looking forward to seeing what everybody comes up with when that actually lands. All right. Now, does everybody know what time it is? I can't hear you. I'm just kidding. It's time for
Pedro's Picks of the Week!
It's time for Pedro's Picks of the Week. Pedro, what do you got for us this week?
Okay, I'm going to prepare. Wait a minute. Share the screen. I put this here. Share screen. Here it is. Okay, perfect. Okay. I'm sharing this. This is the first one this week. It's like a Totoro icon. I love Totoro, so I had to put that on today's picks of the week. And it's just that. It's an icon resembling Totoro, the Hayao Miyazaki character.
Speaking of Miyazaki, anybody seen the new movie? Is that even out yet?
In Spain, we are going to have that movie like in a week or two.
I'm going to have to go out to the theater and watch that. That is that's a must watch for me.
Yes, I think it's out here already. So
Oh.
can.
Ah,
Yeah.
probably. I think I have seen the trailer in English, so yes, it's perhaps you can go now to the movies. Okay.
And
Yes.
sorry, but Totoro has a hat too for this example.
Yes. That's
Oh, yeah.
other 2 points to show in the week.
Okay, it comes out December 8th. So put it on your calendar.
December. Okay.
December. Okay. Okay, this one is a secure folder, and what I really like about this is that when you click on the secure folder, you have this dog that protects the folder. So I think it's an amazing idea to have this dog protecting the folder.
I really like the artwork for the dog too.
Yes. It's really mad about the idea of, and it's kind of dog vampire because it has this teeth. So okay, next one is this. This is one that I love the art. I have been playing a little bit. It's like when you choose something, it goes to the Blender.
Oh,
Nice.
It's like me making my morning. It's my breakfast.
Smoothie.
Oh,
Yeah. And I like the artwork. Is really nice. This other one, for example, is other that I love the artwork. It's so beautiful, the background, and it's just this button. But I love the idea of how it changed from day to night.
I really like the smooth transition. I'm assuming they're just adding a transition to the what do you call it? Not a transition. They're adding some duration and interpolation to the transition.
Yes, that
Yeah.
must be that, or perhaps a joystick. I don't know. I have not opened the file, but I also like the idea of this button that changes from the sun
Mhm.
to the moon. So it's like
That's nice.
everything.
Oh yeah, that is nice.
It's a beautiful detail, and I love the colors too. It's
Yeah,
like
the colors are nice.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. Really beautiful.
okay. Next one is from Michael. Is this a sample he has on X? And I love the idea he's working with interface things these days, and he's making this kind of samples.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
The shutter is. I think he showed how to do that. And
Yes,
it's a really cool trick.
I have the link to show the tutorial because it's really interesting how he has made that shutter. So now we'll share the link too.
Ooh, you want me to share the link to that?
This is other example of a very interesting interaction.
Nice.
It's like it's adding buildings to the icon.
I'd like to give this one the award for the most wiggly trees I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I like
a
the
kind
use
of-
of negative space with
Yes.
the house.
Mhm.
Very cool.
It's interesting because it's like very simple the art, but it works so nice and it's very interesting how it works. Okay, next one is this here. This is from Nathan Moura, and this is really good example. And very
Ooh.
complex because it has a lot of work. And the idea is this. Okay, I'm going to look for everything here is has an interaction. I mean, this
wow.
make that. We have, for example, if I click here on this character, we have the letters of the alphabet, and we have all the letters. So, I mean, it's a lot of work just to have that.
Yeah.
But the other part is that you can change here it's like an avatar app.
Oh.
So you can
Oh my god.
select different kinds of eyes,
That's so cool.
nose.
Dude, the alien eyes are so cool. Ooh. Nose ring. I had a nose ring once.
You did?
ears.
No, I didn't have a nose ring. I had a lip ring though. Talk about wild high school days.
The mouth too. It's amazing. It's a lot of, and the color of the character.
Oh, this is so cool.
It's really
And the
cool.
interesting thing is, if I change now the letter, we have all the characters
Yeah.
changed.
Man, and the fact that this still runs so smooth is like really impressive.
It's amazing.
It's
I don't know.
amazing, yeah.
You can see even you have this following thing with the eyes.
Oh, and the little ball up there under the little spaceship updates whenever you switch
Yes.
to a different character. What?
Also, yeah.
Jeff also pointed out that the eyes are tracking the cursor.
Oh,
Yes,
it
the
is.
eye of
Yes.
the character is tracking the cursor. This one and this one.
Oh,
There's
Okay,
one
Pedro.
more thing too.
Yes. This is the most
The-
important part.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. I mean, if the character has not a hat, I will not show in this session. So
Well, and not only does it
Yes.
have a hat, but you can apparently change the hat.
yes, how?
Jeff says you can change the hat.
If you go to the sun, like those little planets orbiting around
Here?
the sun.
Oh,
wow.
Oh my god.
I
It's
didn't saw
amazing.
that.
The
Oh,
Fez hat, dude. Oh, the little
Yeah,
beanie.
yeah. So many
Is it-
details.
It's incredible. I don't know how much time has spent doing this, but it must be a lot, or he's so fast that can do this really fast. it's amazing. It's really fun to play with this. And I don't know if this is made for something, for starting up or web or just for fun.
I was just going to ask you if we knew if this had gone anywhere or if this is just wanting to
Yeah.
try Rive out and went like seriously all out on this thing.
And the good thing is in the community, so you can open the file and see how it's made and play with it. So it's really nice to have that in the community and be able to know how it's made and play with it. Okay, next one is this. That is another amazing example. Is made by Ross. And the idea is inspiring, he says it's inspiring a GC2 example. And the idea is you have a walk and a run and the idle. But you can mix between both of them. I mean, you can change from, and it makes the transition.
It's
I
very
like that
smooth.
it's like slightly at an angle. It makes the run cycle a lot more interesting. Like he's not just running to the side, he's kind of running like
Yes.
that.
I don't know how it's made. I really would like to see the file later because the mix is perfect. It's like you can walk and stop or walk, run.
Yeah, that's really good.
And I love this effect of the head, like,
Yes.
so
Wobbly,
it's like,
wobbly,
yes.
I'm gonna
Isn't-
request that a moonwalk cycle gets added to this.
Mongo button here. Okay, next one. This is also really nice. It's made by Sanderco and it's this animation. And it's amazing, the detail and
I would go
So-
wow, but I saw it on Twitter and then I went wow when I saw it. It's really cool.
yes. And the interesting thing here is as Sanderco put that in the community and you can remix the file and preview it. Later, 3D Factor has made a little update on that file and has made this idea that you can move the mouse and it follows. So has added this interaction, and it
Nice.
works really nice too. I mean, this is, for example, here the 3D effect of the glasses.
Yeah, it's really nice.
The blinking for me is like, it's really nice. Like the fact
Yes.
that there's a little bounce in the hairs.
It's amazing. I don't know if this is just made for fun or is for a project or something, but
I
it's
think
amazing.
Xander was
Even
just trying to learn how to use bones.
yes, is the interesting thing here is yes, I think yes,
Yeah, this is
He
a
has-
really awesome
he
like
has
first
learned
run
to-
at bones.
yes, he has learned to use one. It's like okay, perfect. But it's what I really like is the art is so finished that you could use that in I don't know in a web or an app and it's ready to use. So
Yeah.
it's perfect. And that's it for this week. Ah, no, sorry. I have this. This link that we can share in the wait a minute in the comments because Michael did this little tutorial explaining how to make the shutter thing we made before, just with constraints and animating just one element. You can make the full animation and go into the final part to see the finished thing. Here it is. Okay, here it is. Just by animating that number, you had this animation. And it's really interesting to see the process and how he set the state machine and everything to have that. So I think it's a great tutorial to learn a few things about constraints and blend states.
Yeah, it's super sweet.
And that's it.
All right.
Nice.
Well, let's talk about Rive It's Alive challenge. Let's talk about it. Let's discuss. There were lots of good submissions this week. In fact, all of them are really good this week. But before we get into the submissions for this week, we actually had a submission that was very late to the party, but definitely deserves a look. So this was a file that was submitted for the first challenge, the Swift challenge. And I think it deserves a shout out. It's really good. I don't actually have, I don't have the user who created this. Let me actually go and find this. But apparently it was inspired by, somebody remember the name of the game? Limbo, yeah. Ooh, that was a cool game.
Such a good game.
Mm-hmm. All right, let me find it here. Oh, I missed one. Hang on, let me grab this. I'm dumb. Let's see. This one is by Pixel Point, who is also, I don't know who they are in Rive, but the Discord user Pixel Point created this, and we thought we ought to show it off. So really great job. If you have or missed other weeks and you want to share your creations, feel free to do that. We'll show them. All right, let's show off our submissions for this week. Oops. Oh, man, I keep closing stuff and doing the wrong thing. It's like I've never run one of these before. You know what I mean? Why do you keep doing it? You know what? I'm just going to stick it down here. Okay, first up, we've got the angriest candy corn anybody's ever seen in their entire life. Now, remember, the challenge was keep it under 20 kilobytes. So we've got our angry candy corn. We click it, and it gets even angrier. Now, I didn't get a file size on this. Did you put it
It's
in here?
more angry with red. Everything is more angry with red.
This one is 7.3 kilobytes. So cool interaction, very small file.
Sorry,
right.
what is the theme for this week? So
The
it's
theme
under
for this
20?
week is crawl. Now,
Cool.
Mr. Beardo said that this was make your computer crawl. That was his inspiration.
Oh.
But at 7 kilobytes, you're not going to be making somebody's computer crawl unless they're like on a, I don't know, Commodore 64 or something like that. I used to play Reader Rabbit on a computer that would bog down like that. Let's see. I think this one is next. Ooh, no, we're gonna wait on that one. This one. All right, this one is from El Jefe himself with a little Addams Family inspired crawling animation. Hit the nail on the head. This is kind of where I was thinking about going with the challenge this week. I like the little fingernails and stuff, and the wiggly
I like
bone.
the bone making that effect.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is really nice. And this one's only 5 kilobytes. So this one is
wow.
really, really small. I'm guessing if I had to guess, to save on space, this front part is all one shape. Like this is all one shape. And then you got one here, here, here. And I guess it's only, I don't know. It's pretty nice though. Way to save file size. I'm curious to dig into that file and see how he set it up to keep it so small. Now, it really came down to these two. I'll say what I really liked about this file. Each finger's a path, and the rest of the hand is a separate shape. Okay, yeah. All right, this one is very impressive.
Yes.
The file size on this is around 5 kilobytes, might just be just under 5. I think it was like 4.99, but it comes out to 5. You've got a little mouse interaction where you can make this ant. I think it's an ant. Hang on, let's get it in the... Ooh, it's not even an ant. It's like a little demonic, like, bug thing. Like, you don't... This is bed bugs. When someone says don't let the bed bugs bite, this is what they're talking about.
I love the 3D effect. It's amazing.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too. I think this is really cool.
The continuous background is really cool.
Yes.
And the legs, like, to me, the legs feel really realistic. Like, it's creepy.
They're very, very, very creepy. But I like the shine on the eyes. Like they kind of pulsate. Like the eyes themselves don't, but they have this little light that lights up. I really like it. All right. Now, the winner for this week. That's the wrong one. Where is it? Here we go. Is this the crab bot?
Ooh. Creepy and cute.
Creepy, cute, click interaction. Now, this one is 19 kilobytes, so it is on the bigger side, but I just think it's really cute. It looks really good. The animation is really nice, and especially with the click animation, like the way that the legs speed up to make it woof off the screen and then slow down. It's really nice. So congrats to Digital Sauce for winning this week. We will announce that on Twitter later and on Discord. And honestly, you should look at this in the community because it's like kind of dropping frames because it has to pass through my thing via the internet and then pass through the internet into your face. And so it's like slightly framey, but it looks really, really smooth. If
And
you
it's
look at it.
amazing how many details have and
Yeah.
how many animation have.
Yeah, lots of little nested animations
Yes.
within it. And
Just with less than 20 kilobytes.
yeah, I think it's really nice.
I like
All
the
right.
mouse.
I wish I could say stuff. Just wait until we get sound. Dude, just
Then it's not going to be 20 kilobytes.
well, I don't care if it's not going to be 20 kilobytes. I'm going to be going through the community and just like downloading things and making random like remixes and just uploading them with sound. I'm going to have so much fun. Like, forget animating, dude. I'm just going to be the sound guy. All right. So we haven't done one of these in a while, but we had somebody post. If you didn't know, we have a channel in Discord where you can ask for feedback on your animations. We actually had one this week. So let's check out the Party Cloud. Or actually, I think the name is like Cloudy. Yeah, Cloudy. Okay, here we go. All right, so here's Cloudy. And they are asking for feedback on the animation. Now, we don't have a Rive or a link to the file, so we can't actually go in there and make little changes. So what we're going to do is give you a little feedback, and then I'll share it on the Discord so that you can see it all. So let's look at the file to begin with. Love the artwork. The idle animation, nice and subtle. And then if you click on the cloud, there's a little tickle animation.
Ah.
And I don't know if you can, yeah.
Yes, it's beautiful. Yes.
So there's that, and then if you click on this, you get a little party animation. So for the most part, I think this animation is like there. I think it's great. There are like one or two little things that you could add to this to push it over the top. So in this animation here, if you look at the, okay, listen, it's on the right side. I get it's mirrored, so it's technically the left arm, but it doesn't look like the left arm is catching the gradient that you're using everywhere else. It's just white and everything else is kind of like changing colors and stuff. So that could be one of two things. One, it got left out of the clipping. Two, there wasn't a gradient put on top of it. Or three, it was included in the clipping, but the winding order is incorrect. So it's not actually picking up that gradient. So I think if you just flip that, I think the gradient, I think adding the gradient to that arm would help out. Let's see. Can I zoom in on this thing? Can I make it bigger for myself? I can make it slightly bigger. And let's also zoom in on here. Okay. Does anybody have anything else for this one? I really like this. Maybe you could detach the face to make the face go up and down more. Like put the face in a group and make it move more. Or make like
I
the
like it.
cloud jowls bounce more. But that's just, yeah, that's like subjective.
I feel like it's a heavy blob, like slow movements, slow
Yeah.
slow parting.
Yes. It's really cute.
All right, and then on the idle animation, I don't really think there's anything to change there. Maybe the only thing is the transition that you're using between stop the blobbing and idle. Maybe you could have a little bit of duration and interpolation so that it doesn't just kind of go from doing this to like idle. It goes from doing this and it kind of slowly slows down into the idle pose. There's a handful of ways that you can do it. You can use duration and interpolation, or you could set up some like custom animation to transition between those two poses. Other than that, I think the idle animation is good. We've got blinking. You could add mouse tracking, but this seems like it's going to be something that you would use on a mobile app. And there's not really, so I don't think cursor tracking would be helpful to add here. The only thing is on the tickle animation, I feel like it could be just a little bit longer, like slightly longer, so that the face can actually like get into the tickle animation. And then maybe, this is just a maybe. Look at videos of the Pillsbury Doughboy when he gets poked in the belly and give it a little hoo-hoo. Not like the sound effect, but like little hands that go on its belly, just hoo-hoo. And just so extend the laugh maybe just a little bit longer. Exaggerate the face and maybe put like little hands on his belly and shake him back and forth. Pedro, Laura, anything?
For me, it works. Perhaps I will add some squash and stress. It's just that to make it more kind of cloudy thin. I mean, like adding just for example here with a little squash and stretch in the body, you can make it feels a little more soft, more not too bouncy, but a little bit. But just that is the only thing I think I will try.
Yeah. So if you have the whole cloud character in a group, if you position that group down here at the bottom, you can add that squash and stretch, and it'll squash and stretch them from the floor. But other than that, I think it's a really nice.
Yes, it really works now. So yeah, and it's funny and it's cute, so it works.
Yeah. Just little things if you want to. If not, hey, I'm saying that's what I'm saying. The only thing to really add, or not add, but fix, is this arm, because it's just not included in the. It's not included in the gradient. Other than that, great job. If you want your files critiqued or whatever, just post it in the channel and we can do that. All right, we are done. We're done, but we're not done. Let's see if there's any questions that we can go through. Mr. Beardo did have a great suggestion. I've been seeing this, actually. I've been seeing these. No, not seeing these, hearing these things on podcasts sometimes where they have like an introduction. They'll write the introduction up and give it to some AI to do like a weird like reading of it. And he thinks we should do our updates using an AI voice. Might try it. I don't think we have any questions.
No.
I need a new computer. No, I don't think you need a new computer. I think you're fine.
If you're using Rive, it works almost with everything. I have an old laptop, and I can make Rive work in that laptop, and it works really great.
Just wait until we get the new renderer running in the editor. Then, even the big files and stuff like that are gonna run a lot smoother. Ooh, this is a good question. What will the new nested artboard updates allow? All right, so this is a very simple example. So now, if you use a nested artboard and it has a state machine in it, you know that if you take that state, and that state machine has like interactive bits, you know if you take that state machine and you put it into you nest it onto another artboard, you can't actually use that state machine to drive interactivity within your main artboard. It is just its own little thing, which is why for the longest time, some of the coolest things that we could do with the nested artboard state machines were hover effects to make those light grids, and if you click on a thing, you can light it up, sort of like, not an Etch-a-Sketch. What do you call those things? Those light brights? Yeah. You could.
What are the light brights?
It's like the little, it was like a panel thing, and you got these little color pegs, and when you put the color peg in the thing, it would light up. And so it was kind of like an Etch-a-Sketch, except not even close to being an Etch-a-Sketch. You were making light up glowy art. So anyways, that was what you could do before. The new one now, you'll actually be able to expose the inputs from your nested state machines, or those component artboards that you're creating, and then use them on your main state machine or your main artboard to drive interactivity through other buttons. You could have a whole menu set up to where 6 panels deep in the menu, you can have some option there affect a button 6 panels back, and those can all be components that you've created in various nested artboards. There's a ton of stuff. I mean, just by way of being able to key inputs on the timeline, or add inputs to listeners and things like that on your main state machine, you're going to be able to do a ton, a ton of new stuff. And a lot of the outstanding bugs that we knew about, your state machine's not starting over, those are going to start over. When you use a simple playback, that thing's going to work how you want it to now. It's Christmas in October. All right, it's not July, but it's close enough. So that's some of the things that'll be allowed. Call us Gordon Ramsay. No, not Gordon Ramsay. Call us Iron Chef, because we be cooking over here. Okay, we've been messing around trying to find all the best ways to use the newest update, and making sure that it works in the workflow.
I'm sure people are going to surprise us with the use of this new thing. I mean, we are thinking about how to use it, but I'm sure people are going to surprise us using in ways that we are not thinking now.
Oh,
and
sure.
for me, the first and more interesting use now is that you can reuse things.
Yes.
You can make, I don't know, it's going to be possible to have a button or a loading bar or something that you need a few times in the same thing, and you can use the same, you just make one and can put in different things and reuse that. So that's for me, it's an interesting part of the thing to be able to make not components, but kind of components for a few things, and that kind of use I think is very interesting. And the idea of interacting between artboards, I think is great, because it makes a lot of it's more flexible that how it's now. So
yeah.
You can, for example, just for good practice or to be clean, you can have elements in another artboard, and as you can interact with both, you don't need everything in the main artboard all the time. So just for a best practice, I think it's interesting. Yes.
That's been the nicest thing, being able to create pieces I mean, you basically are creating components. And just being able to reuse those or build them all outside of your main artboard. And then the only purpose of the main artboard is just to take everything and put it together. And so you're not going to have like what I've found crazy is that you're not going to have these state machines anymore that have like 20 layers that have just like 1 or 2 states on them. You're going to, or, you know, having to rebuild the interactivity for each one of your buttons on a different layer. It's all just going to be like, the only thing your main state machine does is switch between screens. Like, it is crazy how few animations I've had to create in comparison to some of the files that I've been creating now. Like, for example, I was working on a recreation of like the Doom 2016 menu. And let me tell you, that thing has a buttload of animations. And it probably, I think it took like 2 or 3 days to get all the little like menus built for it, because I had to build in the interactivity for each different piece. And then with the nested artboard update, I was able to recreate a menu that had just as many things in probably like 2 hours, and it didn't have nearly as many animations. It was so nice. It is. I'm excited.
For me, it's taking longer to think about it than to once you get around the idea that the master is like the conductor of all the other artboards.
That is one thing. It's like it is going to shift how you have to think about everything, from thinking about it on one state machine where, you know, each layer is a different piece of the interactivity. You're mostly thinking about like, okay, what events or inputs do I need to expose to the next level, and how many levels of like nesting things do I need to make like this big component that I want to reuse everywhere else, and at what point do I combine that with the main state machine? So it is going to take a little bit of learning, but I'm excited to all learn together and somebody show me the best way to do it. 'Cause as fun as it is to try and figure out new things, sometimes it's fun for somebody to just be like, hey, this is how you do it. I'm a developer and I do it this way. So yeah, that should be landing fairly soon. Can you access inputs from multiple layers of nested depth? Okay. It's a good question. No and yes.
It depends.
It depends. There are ways to do it. In fact, I have a file sitting in my Slack messages right now that shows me the way to do this. I have not figured out how to do it. But there is a way to pass them up using events. I'm sure it's using events to pass it up even farther than you would think. But by default, and Jeff, we're going to go over all of this in the workshop whenever we have it. I don't think we're having a workshop this week, so it's going to be next week or the week after. But when you expose a input, you can select an input, say expose to parent, and when you nest it, that next level that you nest it to will see the input and you can use it. Now, once you get to the grandparent level where you take the nested, and nest it again, you can't see that input anymore. But again, if you're exposing inputs, or using events, you'll be able to see that stuff. So there's going to be some meta stuff going on.
This would also be the way. We had this question, I remember a few weeks ago, where someone asked, can you get events from nested artboards? Mm-hmm. So in the same way, you'd propagate the events up and up and up and up. You just need to manually do that. But that would be the way you would get events to trigger on a nested artboard and at runtime.
Hey, you know what I just thought about today? What I just thought about just now? You know what's really exciting? The fact that you can copy and paste listeners now. I didn't even think about that and how helpful that's going to be with the newest, when this lands, you are gonna want to copy and paste, listeners, for sure. Because trust me, like, you're not even, the crazy thing is you're not even you are still working on the state machine graph. Don't get me wrong, but you're not working on it nearly as much. You're working in that listener panel heavy. So being able to copy and paste listeners now is going to be very nice. I actually need to test that out today and start writing documentation on all this stuff. So that'll be my day. I don't know about y'all. Got other things cooking. Little UI examples, game UI stuff.
Yes.
That's looking cool, by the way.
Yeah, my last few days have been out of band assets and baby.
We've had so many requests for out of band assets. I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what people do with that stuff too.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. It's very needed, especially on web. Yeah, if you have Rive files that like all of them share the same font or the same assets, that's a big improvement because you only need to download that font or asset once now.
Yeah, so now if you want your website to have a picture, like you want to have 100 cat pictures, but you only want to put one of the cat pictures in your Rive file, you can do that.
You can do that?
Yes.
Yeah, these are facts, man. I'm spitting.
Yeah, or you can if you're doing like skinning or something like that, and your assets are images, then you can swap them out infinitely.
Yep, it'll be pretty cool. I was trying to think of the other thing. Oh yeah, there's a new way to get your file sizes even smaller. You can use the hosted option.
For
How's
out-of-band
that?
assets.
Yeah. This was passed to me from Zach. Says it makes your file smaller. I don't know. You tell me.
It's the same. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So it's three options. You can embed it, which is what we currently do. So the Rive would consume the image and it's part of the binary, or you can host it. So then Rive hosts the asset for you, and you don't care about loading it yourself, but it does mean there's an API request that downloads the assets when you display your Rive animation. Or the other option is you handle the asset yourself. So you can, for example, preload the assets and cache it, and then when you display your animation, pass that asset immediately, so it's available without loading, or swap it out for something else if you wanted to. So yeah, those are the three options.
Is this going to be possible? Your own meme maker?
Yeah.
I'm down for that.
Swap the text, swap the image. Yeah.
I actually used one of those last week.
The one from Game of
Yeah.
Thrones. That one.
Ooh, here we go. We got a question. All right, I'm just signing in. That's okay. Sorry if you already talked about this. Can a main artboard with X amount of nested artboards have an ID for each nested instance? Can that ID be passed back to the nested artboard within the editor?
I think it's just the name of the artboard. Could be that. I mean, if you change the name of the artboard, you have a different ID name of that artboard. And I mean, when you duplicate or create an artboard, it's just name it new artboard, I think. But you can change the name. If you change the name, you see what the name of the artboard is when you nest it on another one.
Yeah, and that's if you want to be able to see all of them at runtime, you'll need to change the names of the artboards. Within the editor, though, yeah, Have
What-
I-
What does it mean for ID in the editor?
I don't know.
Is the name of the artboard?
I think so.
It's in the editor. The only way you see the names of the artboard are that I mean you see the names of the different artboards. If it's the runtimes, it's also the name of the artboard, I think.
Yeah.
So yes, perhaps this user that doesn't know that you can change the name. I don't know if that's the problem.
Now, if you're trying to pass information from one artboard to the next, there's not really a lot that you can do right now, but soon you'll be able to pass those inputs back and forth. Here's another one. You'd be able to control the inputs of a nested artboard from the main, right? Yes, that's the idea, is that you'll be able to control the inputs of your nested artboards in your main artboard or a parent artboard. So that's the super exciting thing. You can also, you can key inputs on a timeline. It's crazy.
Yes.
It's crazy. Can I tell you something I learned today? Just
Tell
really
me.
quick. I've cracked the Twitter code. Okay. You want to know how to get infinite likes on Twitter? You already know hack 1. Does everybody know hack 1 on likes on Twitter?
The
It feels like you're gonna sell me a course.
exclamation.
No. no, there's no course. Okay, you have to have cats.
Okay.
Cats is no, dude, that is numero uno. You want unlimited updates, you put cats. Number 2, anime. Did you put anime or cats or anime cats in your post? To the freaking moon, dude. Your post is going viral, okay? That's your free tip of the day. You want to get better, you want more followers on Twitter? Follow my 2 simple rules and send $5 to my PayPal. Okay, the PayPal thing, joke. Don't do that. I also learned something else. Okay.
What?
I learned that 5-year-olds, okay, can be so excited about something they love and then have a complete meltdown over it at the same time. Okay, so here's an example. Went to the carnival the other day. Was there with a friend and their kid. They claimed to love long lines. Now, this was a bit surprising to me because who really likes long lines? Sounds like the thing a 5-year-old would say. Now, 2 minutes later, we're having a complete meltdown because we're not first in line. So I don't know how you can juxtapose those 2 things and both love and hate the same thing at the same time. So those are 2 things that I've learned this week. Cats and anime, or anime cats, and 5-year-olds have no idea what's going on in the outside world. That's all I got. Does anybody else have anything random they'd like to share before we get out of here?
Random.
I mean, you have to finish always on the top, and I think this is the.
Yeah,
This is the high point. You're not going
I
any
think
higher?
so.
All right, well then we'll do our housekeeping. If you're not part of the Discord, make sure you join the Discord so you can continue asking any questions that we didn't get to today. You'll also be able to see all of the newest releases as soon as they happen. Also, follow us on Twitter or X, whatever your preferred nomenclature is. Oh, and the hack works. How do you play Rive files on Scroll and Framer? Well, first thing you got to do, you got to make an interaction that works with a scroll. So it's probably going to work with a number input. 2, you need a dark wizard like Gordon or someone who understands code to set up the code to make that happen. Gordon or Zach has done this for me. Gordon, do you have a simple example that you can point him to?
I need to go find it. There is an example on Discord. It's popped up a few times. So yeah, there's an example on Discord that shows you the code needed to do it. Framer has a API you can tap into, and yeah, that allows you to connect your Rive animation to Framer's scrolling in an easy way. I think actually Laura also took a look at this. Like I remember you also had an example. And
Yes, I couldn't make it work without code. Zach copy a code for me and share it with me.
I stole
think
your
Zach-
code for that.
Okay.
and Zach copied the code from
Well, from you.
Gordon, dude.
We didn't know about it. And I think there's one of these live stream. I can search for it. Zach show, make a little demo and show how to do it with the code in Framer. But we don't know a way to make it work in Framer without code.
I
don't
think it
think
needs
there's a
code.
way. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
So
easy though.
here's the best way I think we can deal with this. Easy is make a help request in Discord and tag one of us, and we will find the code boops and blops. Oh, it looks like Gordon. Gordon will find the code bloops and blops.
I have it. I can share the link now.
Oh, there
Awesome.
we go. All right. Never mind. We're ending on an even higher note. That's what you get. This is what you get when you tune into the last like 5 minutes of the live stream. You get only the best.
In the peak.
All right.
Yeah, that's the link to the initial question. I think there's a few more, so yeah, should
Okay.
find more examples.
All right, easy ease. Make sure you grab that link. Here we go. One more, please. Does events work with Framer? Any way to add sound? This is a good question.
I don't know.
This is going to
I
need some
couldn't make
code,
it
I
work.
bet.
Yeah, you'd need to tap into the code. Yeah, we need to look into a way of exposing it in a cleaner way. I don't know how possible it would be from like the editor perspective of like using the UI to connect it to other things. I'm not very well versed in Framer, but yeah, for now it would need some code.
Code fixes everything. That's what I've heard. Many people are saying this. Who am I to argue with them?
They're right.
And I would, again, Easies, I would recommend posting a help thread on, especially your sound one, since we've already found the answer to the first one. Post one in the Discord, and hopefully somebody can help you out with the code to get your sound working there. All right, now we're getting out of here. Remember, join Discord, join Twitter, X, whatever. Spanish live stream tomorrow. Gordon creative session tomorrow. No workshop this week. That'll be probably next week. And keep an eye out for a few more feature releases this week, I believe. Bevy among possibly other things. All right. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. We really enjoy y'all hanging out with us, chatting with us, asking the questions, the real hard-hitting questions, the questions that only everyone cares about. We will see y'all tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.